Welcome to Scattered, the podcast that's all over the map in the best way possible. From pro wrestling to pop culture, from mental health to the Buffalo Bills, and everything in between. If it's interesting, we're talking about it. And now, here's your host, the king of variety, the master of ADD, and the guy who proves being all over the place can be awesome, Brian Fink.
All right, welcome. Oh, WrestleMania, do. Yeah, this is my review. Pump it up. All right. This week has been a little bit of a roller coaster. And if you listen to the episode that airs and came out with this one, then you know what I mean. But now it's time to do it. I let you guys know Sunday night I was going to talk about WrestleMania this week. WrestleMania 41 was in Las Vegas, Nevada over 2 nights, Saturday, April 19th and Sunday, April 20th, Easter Sunday, which is a little weird, but, they had it. And if you build it, they will come. So I came, I watched it. The crowd was good. WWE pulled out all the big guns and everything looked good. Everything was fun. So now we're going to kind of break it down with the good, the bad, and the So let's get into it, okay? Overall, yes, I loved the show. It had energy. It had some surprises. It had some amazing in-ring work and some storylines that actually landed. Because there were some that didn't, and we'll definitely get into that. Night 1 was absolutely the better show, though, from top to bottom. It just flowed better, easy for me to say. It had the better matches overall, the better pacing. Night 2 had some good stuff, and we're going to talk about some of that. But night 1 for me, from top to bottom, was the better card. And just a better, more fun show. So with that, not including the 2 nights, I'm going to combine them here. We're going to talk about my 3 favorite matches. Okay, so this is a segment that I'm going to call 2, 3, the top 3. In no particular order, let's talk about LA Knight, versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Heavyweight Championship. This match was good. It did exactly what it needed to do. Knight looked great. The crowd was hot for it. And in the end, Jacob Fatu walked away as the new United States champion. And that is exactly what needed to be done. Fatu is definitely a future main eventer. I mean, it's in his bloodline, literally. And I followed the guy since his MLW days. He is a freak. But I do have to point out that counter to the moonsault where LA Knight hit the BFT out of it was amazing. It definitely gave me like Randy Orton hitting the RKO on Evan Bourne vibes. And for those of you who saw that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Jacob Fatu goes to the top rope, does a moonsault, so he jumps backwards. LA Knight catches his head and rams it, bam, right into the mat. It was awesome. The fact that Jacob Fatu grabbed the rope as opposed to kicking out helped save the finisher for LA Knight, but also just showed how dominant Jacob Fatu is. I loved that match. I thought it was great, and the crowd was super into it. Speaking of the crowd being super into it, the best match from night 2, in my opinion, was the fun and yet chaotic Fatal 4-Way between Braun Breaker, Dom Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a fun kind of chaos, and it continues to build this implosion of the Judgment Day. Braun is a beast. He's going to be the number 1 guy someday. Just mark my words. I'm telling you, the dude is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, if not next year, the following year. He's built like a Steiner, because obviously he is one, but he moves like he's a cruiserweight. I don't know how he is in terms of talking, I'm not super impressed yet. But as we found out on Raw, spoiler, he's aligned himself with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, so he doesn't have to be the world's greatest talker right now. Penta, I've never really been into Penta. I get it. He has an awesome look. He's super charismatic. I get it. I just don't really buy in. I'm not a huge Penta guy. But let's talk about my boy, Dominic Mysterio. I was literally cheering. I stood up. I was like, yeah, let's go, let's go. Like I was crazy. It was hysterical. 60,000 people were cheering for him in Vegas for this little Weasley chicken shit heel winning the championship. I loved it. And the fact that he pinned Finn Balor, his own stablemate, like I said, only adds to the fact that the Judgment Day are going to implode. So congratulations, Dom. And then my third favorite, again, this was in no particular order, but the third on this list had to be the main event from night one. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins. This had everything. This had storytelling. It had drama. From the start, having Living Color there live to play Cult of Personality as Punk came out was awesome. And what's interesting is the last time he wrestled at WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 29, the only WrestleMania I've ever been to, Living Color also played him out. So it's 11 years since he wrestled at WrestleMania, and they were there again to play him out. So that was really cool. But that no good, rotten son of a bitch, Paul Heyman, you the real MVP. Heyman comes out with Punk, his best friend. Then he turns on CM Punk. Roman Reigns thinks, my wise man has come back to me. He turns on Roman, same thing, a low blow, and leaves with Seth freaking Rollins. This is setting up a lot of really cool stuff. I already talked about it with Braun Breaker. We know on Raw that Braun joins their stable. So I am really excited to see where that goes. And Heyman is just such a master. He is absolutely brilliant. But let's talk about the main event from night two. Cena versus Cody. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE Championship. I get what they were trying to do. Turning Cena heel, the shock factor, having, you didn't want to take away from Cody as the top babyface. Breaking Flair's record is awesome, but man, it just didn't land for me. It didn't work. First off, it's tough to buy Cena as a true heel. He spent 2 decades being the guy. The face of Mr. Hustle, loyalty, respect. So when he starts cutting these promos about ruining wrestling, it feels like it's skipping a few steps. The story wasn't there. It felt forced, definitely. I think there were things that worked. Again, turning on the fans. I've been a nice guy all these years, and you guys have treated me like crap. That all worked, but there was so much that just didn't make any sense. And then Travis Scott. Look, I get it. The guy's an artist. The guy is, a huge rap star. But if we're going to be honest here, he looked like a Make-A-Wish kid getting his big WWE moment. The interference slowed the match down, and the execution of the finish dragged way too long. If I was booking this, I still would have had Cena win it. Definitely. I like the idea of turning him heel, blaming the fans. Like I said, that was believable. I got into that. But I would cut Travis Scott from the finish entirely. Or if I had to have him involved, keep it sharp and quick, not whatever that bloated ending was, because it dragged and it took forever. And then The Rock, he shows up at Elimination Chamber. They do this whole thing with Cody, I want your soul, blah, blah, blah. And then he's not at WrestleMania. So the whole angle just kind of lacked any payoff and felt kind of flat. I get that you want this cool story and everything, but it didn't work for me personally. My favorite thing, though, if I had to pick one moment from the weekend, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't even know why, but Dom Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship, it made me smile, made me laugh. I cheered. It was legit a feel-good moment, even though Dom is usually getting booed out of the building and he's this chicken shit heel. I just really loved it. So that was probably my favorite part of the entire weekend. I did like the Jade Cargill and Naomi match also. I thought out of all 4 women's matches, that was probably my favorite. And congratulations to them. They are the first 2 women to wrestle at WrestleMania and not be involved in some kind of title match. They just had a grudge match, and it's never been done at WrestleMania. So congratulations to both Jade and Naomi, because they were awesome. I also should mention Jey Uso beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. I'm not into Jey. The whole yeet thing doesn't do it for me. I love Gunther, but his title reign was horrible. So I'm kind of glad that it's over. I'm hoping for a fresh start for Gunther, and hopefully Jey does well with the world title, but I'm just not a huge fan. So that's it. That's kind of my review for WrestleMania. That's my rant. It's condensed. I don't want to go through every single match and do everything, but it had its highs, it had its lows, it had its full-on what just happened moment. But it reminded me why I love this stuff. Even when the booking makes me roll my eyes, I'll still be here yelling at my screen, analyzing stories and pretending I could have done it better, which I could have, by the way. Yeah, right. If you watch the show, though, let me know what your take is. Hit me up. Either send me an email at brianfinkscattered@outlook.com, or go to my new link tree that I have that has all of my social media and all of my podcasts and all of my posts. It's linktr.ee/brianfinkscattered. I'll be posting clips throughout the week. And don't forget, there are 2 episodes this week because I had a lot of stuff on my heart that I needed to get out. So if you haven't yet, go listen to Lost But Not Stuck. It's the most personal one I've done yet. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and stay loud, wrestling fans. Oh, WrestleMania. Brian's still singing. Pump it up. Take care, guys.